in here, VIP TV, down at the Gypsy King's Gym in Morecambe, when I'm going to chat to debutant Troy Gallagher. Troy, how are you doing?
How you doing, Lee? You alright, mate?
I am, mate. I was just saying to you, I didn't realise, I was checking my records. You know, I film a lot of the amateur shows over the years, and I have done since about 2012. And back in 2016, you were still near enough the same size as you are now, a bit skinny, so you've always been a big lad. But you were fighting, I think it was Jim Egan's kick, Keaton Jackson.
Yeah.
He's not a bad lad.
No.
But you lost.
Yeah. I boxed him a couple of times, Keaton.
How many fights did you have then as an amateur?
I had 21 as an amateur.
And how did you do?
I won 16.
Oh, good then.
Right, yeah.
No, that's very...
Yeah.
Listen, a 50-50 record in amateur boxing is a good record, and that's almost 75%, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I ended up... I found it better off when I started doing the 3-minute rounds. I just felt like I had a bit more time to settle into it instead of... When I was doing the 2 minutes, I was rushing everything and then making mistakes, So
are you looking forward to then, because you're going to get an extra 3 minutes here now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, and the form, to me, it seems like an eternity, but most fighters look forward to doing the 6, the 8s and the 10s.
Yeah.
Are you one of those fighters? Are you one of those that look forward to the longer rounds?
Yeah. I feel like I can get my work off a bit better over a longer period of time without making as many mistakes, so I think it'll suit me a bit better.
And let's go back to, where did you box as an amateur?
I boxed for Lancaster Boxing Academy, which was Bob's gym at the time, and then Coastal. Coastal ABC.
Coastal's just around the corner. I've been there before, somewhere just around the corner. Not too far away from here.
No, it's local. It's nice and easy to get to.
So you've been with Bob all your life then? All your boxing life, you should say?
Yeah. I started with Bob when I think I was about 13 when I had the first fight with Bob. And then boxed for Bob for a little bit, and then he had a little break, and then I went down to Coastal, and then Bob came into Coastal, and then he was doing coaching and stuff in Coastal with the other coaches there, so it ended up working out really well. Yeah. And
now you're here at Tyson. How much fun is that for you?
It's good.
As a young fighter,
it's good.
You can't be in a better place than this,
No,
can
I feel like I'm getting a lot of experience.
Well, first of all, it's a beautiful gym.
Yeah, it is.
But being in close vicinity to, the former heavyweight champion of the world, it's got to bring you something a little bit more special out of you, isn't it?
Yeah. It makes you want to train.
Of course it does.
You, I don't know, you feel like it's a lot more valuable just because it's that feeling. He's been to the top, he knows what it's all about.
Listen, it's a hard sport, boxing. It takes a lot out of you, and it's very little rewards at this level, and it's going to be very little rewards for your next 2-3 years as a professional. But knowing that things can change for you, because you can see it. You're working next to someone who, he's never going to have to work a day in his life again. And neither is probably any of his family for the next 5 or 6 generations. So it can pay off, but it's a gamble. Most likely it won't, but until you try, you don't know, do you?
No, you're never going to know until you give it a proper go, are you?
What are your aspirations then to be as a professional?
I want to go all the way. I want to get a world title. I want to do as well as I can. Do you know what? I do now enjoy the training, just the general training, building up to a fight. I feel like it does me well just getting out of my comfort zone. Like, it gets towards a fight, you get there, you get out your comfort zone, you've boxed, and the feeling after you box is just unbelievable.
It's very silly, but just getting your arm raised in the middle of that ring, there's no better feeling, is it? It's like the best drug in the world, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I don't know. I feel like without boxing, I feel like I'm a different person. I feel like it's become part of who I am now. So I enjoy it. I feel like I'll do it forever. Obviously, you can't.
How old are you now then?
25.
25. Oh, so you're only young. So it's good time to turn over. You've got your man strength. You've stopped growing, so you know where you're going to go. Hopefully, you can push your way down. And maybe, at 25 you can move a little bit quicker. Sometimes, when you're a bit younger, you've got to wait until you've got that men's strength and finish growing, because often you grow through weights, because you've still got a few spurts. I presume that's not going to happen for you.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm pretty much as big as I'm going to get now, really.
And I was just watching the final few rounds there. preparations, I presume, have been going really well because you're sparring with Tom Rafferty, little brother but big to British champion Jack Rafferty.
Yeah. It's been really good doing some rounds with Tom. Been good learning rounds for me. High pace as well. He's constant pressure. I've been doing good rounds with him, and I feel like I'm learning a lot from it.
In fact, even though I filmed years ago, I didn't realise until I looked, but your name has cropped up quite a lot over the last about 12 months. When I've been speaking to guys, I've been asking, who you've been preparing with, who you've been training with, and your name has been cropped up, been popping up a lot. So I presume, how long has this been on the cards for you for looking to go pro?
Probably about 12 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Hence why you've been moving around with a lot of pros.
Yeah. Probably about 12 months. I've been toying with the idea for a couple of years, but I had like a little injury when I first thought about it, and then that put me back. I had a bit of an injury on my shoulder, and then after that, I realised how bad it was not to be training because I couldn't train.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'd go down to the gym.
You appreciate what you miss.
Yeah. And I was watching the lads doing push-ups and stuff, and I was like feeling a little bit jealous. I was like, I'm not going to take this for granted again. When I can train again, I'm going to think about this. When it gets hard, I'm going to think, I wanted to be able to feel like this. So it changed my perspective a little bit as well. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Like I just said to every good fighter learns to take positives out of negatives.
Yeah.
So whether it's injuries, whether it's fights falling through, whatever, you've got to find a way to flick it into a positive, because if you let it beat you, it's no good, is it?
No.
You've got to look at, no matter how bad or how negative it is, you've got to turn it into a positive, and good fighters do that.
Yeah.
And look at Jack Rafferty. He had a lot of bad injuries, fights not happening, and then now he's British champion and world's his oyster.
Yeah, I watched his last fight actually. Walter Fury was on the undercard. I went to watch Walter, and I seen Jack's fight as a belter.
In fact, one of your stablemates who trains here, Owen Kirk, I think he was one of the first kids that was mentioning you, because he said he'd done a lot of rounds with you.
Yeah, I've done quite a few rounds with Owen over the past 12 months or so, probably more actually, probably a couple of years.
And who else? So we've just seen Tom Rafferty, who's a very good, I think Tom, what was he, 10 or 11-0 now, Tom?
11 or 12 I think, I think might be 12.
Yeah, with quite a few KOs now, I think 5 or 6 KOs as well.
Yeah.
He's stopping people for fun as he's moved up now, because he started off as a light middleweight.
Yeah.
And, he's a fully fledged middleweight. He's a big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big lad, yeah.
So who else besides those two lads we mentioned?
Owen, I've done a little bit with Reece, but Reece is a bit lighter than me, Reece McMillan. So obviously I train with Reece most nights, but he's a bit lighter than me, so we don't do too much sparring. For a little bit, I was going down to spar with Tommy and Roman Fury. Oh yeah. Down there, yeah, that was good. That was valuable. That was very valuable.
Who's Tommy fighting? He's been signed up to fight
Darren
Till now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But it's interesting.
Well, you know, something it's a genuinely good fight.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, he's come from MMA and he's
got a stand-up background. That was his.
I think he was a kickboxer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or Thai boxer, I should say. And stand-up was where he won most of his fights.
Yeah.
So a fairly even fight that. I'd probably say Darren is probably a slight favourite in that one.
Yeah, he could be. I tell you what though, Tommy's. When you watch like his performances against KSI and Jake Paul, when I went down to spar him, it was really hard to hit.
Yeah.
So I think he's got a lot more to give than what people realise. He can box a lot better than what you've seen so far, I would say.
Listen, he was a raw novice when he first turned over. I filmed him when he got to the finals of the National Association of Girls and Boys.
Yeah.
I think it was his last tournament before he turned over, and he turned over very young. What was he, 18 years old or something when he turned over. So it's been a slow process, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Done quite a lot of rounds with Walter Fury as well.
I've never met Walter before, but he made his debut not long ago in Liverpool, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Does Walter train here then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Walter trains with us most of the time.
Well, so what relation is he then to Tyson?
Cousin.
Right.
Cousin.
Okay.
Yeah. Done quite a few rounds with Walter leading up to his last fight, to be fair. Yeah, they were good rounds again. It's all good rounds. There's a lot of local lads who are.
But they do breed tough up here, don't they? Though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about this.
Yeah.
They're tough kids, and I think that's a factor that a few fighters are missing. They can have all the skills in the world, and skills do do help you.
Yeah.
But when you get into those longer rounds, those championship rounds, toughness is a big advantage.
Yeah, it is.
So is on November the 30th, is Morecambe going to produce a new champion, and you're going to be coming out 1-0?
Yeah, that's it.
Who's your opponent, do you know?
Victor Gallagher.
Oh, do you know something? I mean, I haven't spoke about him, but Victor's had a little bit of success just recently.
Yeah, he won
at the weekend.
Night, didn't he? Yeah.
It was the second time he's fought Joe Sullivan.
Yeah.
Who
I sparred with Joe before.
Joe's a good kid.
Yeah.
Joe's a good kid. Because you're a bit... you're probably going to kill me. You're a bit ginger there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Joe's proper
is.
ginger, isn't he? And I think all you gingers can fight, you know. I believe Joe was a little bit unlucky this time.
I watched it. I thought he won. I thought he did everything he was supposed to do, really.
But I've just filmed. I filmed him at an Oldham show, Victor, and he fought James Albert. James beat him in the rematch, but in the first one, he comfortably beat James.
Yeah.
So he's a guy that you can't underestimate.
He's a bit of a banana skin, isn't he? He's unorthodox. He throws
very unorthodox.
He throws wild shots at wild times, and he brings you onto him quite a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he's only been stopped in his 99 losses. I've got his record here, 1 second. I've not wrote it down because you've only just been added to the bill, haven't you?
Yeah.
But I think in his 99 losses, he's only been stopped 3 times.
Yeah.
So he's a very tough kid. You're guaranteed to get the rounds out of him. And I think as a young fighter making your debut, that's really important because the longer you can stay under those bright lights, the more you're going to learn.
Yeah.
You know, and the faster you progress then. And I don't think it's... Listen, we all want to see stoppages, we all want to see knockouts, but I think your first couple of fights, I don't think people realise how much pressure is on you. You know, not only have you got to sell the tickets so you can go down there, but you've got to perform. And he's a very hard kid to perform against.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
you know, to look good against
quite
him.
A bit of him, and he is awkward to look good against.
Yes.
But
his awkwardness makes him good.
Yeah.
You know, you say, oh, he's not that good, but actually you get in with him and you find out he's better than he looks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's hard to hit. He throws very unorthodox shots. Everything he does is unorthodox, so it's just different to what you train for, isn't it?
Well, so how do you go about that? Because you're sparring quality kids here.
Yeah. It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah. So have you prepared for it? Is it something that you've put in place and thought this is what I need to do?
Local lad, Sean Coxon. I've been doing some rounds with him.
Well, he's a man on the road, isn't he?
Yeah. I've done a couple of rounds with him, and he's been like helping me. Obviously, I find out what it's like to box someone who's a bit more like that, and he's been showing me, doing me a favour really, boxing a bit more like Victor and stuff like that. I ideally could do with doing some more rounds with Sean really, but
I think sometimes you can spar at a high level,
but it's different on the night.
Yeah, because you're getting guys who are not going to give you opportunities. They're not be firing back with you, or if you do, they're just going to shell up. So I think that's perfect preparation. Working with a man who's at the level that you're going to be moving around with. And Sean's doing really well lately.
Yeah, he's a good lad, Sean.
He's a tough lad. But in fact, I think he was on a Gary Booth show. Filmed him a few times. I think he's been on our show once up in Blackpool as well. So the guy's been around. But listen, I'm looking forward to your journey start. I always like it when I filmed a kid in the amateurs and they turn over. I always like to follow the journey, and hopefully someone will be down there chatting to you on November the 30th, saying 1-0. And Bob Howard, lads, isn't it? Here he is, Bob. You sit down here quick, because you've been with this man from the beginning. Just squeeze up there a little bit. Bob, he's your baby, isn't he?
He is. The big baby.
Are you coming back? Are you coming back with a title and a win for him?
We're hoping so, yeah. Well,
the preparation's gone well. He was just telling me the people he's been moving around with. I just caught the last couple of rounds there with Tom Rafferty. So you've had quality kids coming up here to
Sparring,
help prepare them all.
Yeah, he's done some fantastic rounds. Just he's in great shape. He's always fit. He's always in the gym.
Developing a nice little stable down here, Bob, aren't you?
Yeah, we're getting busy. Got some good kids, doing our best.
Morecambe on the back.
That's it, yeah.
I know Tyson's already done that, but this is the new breed that's coming through,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, some new lads coming through.
Well, listen, I'll
The
see.
old guard and the new guard coming up.
Well, I'll see you two both on the. We'll see you the day before, because you're presumably down with Reece the day before weighing, and hopefully someone will be chatting to you and saying, "Want to know?"
Yeah, there will be.
Troy, Bob, take care, mate.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thanks for having us.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.